everyone, my name is Brianna Walker and today I'm going to be telling you guys about the life of Toni Morrison and her accomplishments. So, Toni Morrison is an American writer, a critic, and a Nobel Peace winner. She's also a Pulitzer winner for her writings. She was born on February 18, 1931 in Lorain, Ohio, and her real name is actually Chloe Anthony Woolford. She got the name Toni from a childhood nickname from Anthony. In 1949, she attended Howard University in Washington, D.C., and she majored in English, and she wanted to get a higher education, so she went on to Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, where she received her master's. In 1958, she married Jamaican architect Harold Morrison, and she had two children, Kevin Slade and Harold Ford. So, Morrison's writing style. Morrison's writings concentrate on the rural African American communities and their cultural inheritance, and she explores it with vivid details and epic vocabulary. Her writing style does not just tell the reader about issues concerning the African American community, it shows the reader. It lets the reader divulge into the African American heritage and all that it has to offer. She's often criticized for not having white protagonists in her stories, but Morrison went on to say that she looked very hard in Black fiction because she wanted to develop a canon of Black work. She said that we've had the first rush of Black entertainment where Blacks were writing for whites, and whites were encouraging this kind of self-flagellation. Now we can get down to the craft of writing, where Black people are talking to Black people. And that's exactly what Toni Morrison wanted to do. She wanted to make a book that was for Black people, about Black people. And her writing can also be interpreted by different people, by different walks of life. Everyone can enjoy her writings and understand the meaning behind it. So, Toni Morrison's first novel is called The Bluest Eyes. It was written in 1970, and it was during a time when she divorced her husband, and she was raising her two sons on her own, and her husband Harold actually moved back to Jamaica at this time. This book is about a young girl who actually hated her skin color, hated her eyes, hated everything about being Black, and she wanted to be white, she wanted to have blue eyes, she wanted everything that a Caucasian person would have. And she just wrote this book to show people how the beauty standards of Americans and how it can affect the Black psyche and the Black child, and how past slavery mindset and thoughts are still affecting the people today. She actually said she was inspired to write this book from a childhood experience she had, where she was talking with a young girl when she was a child herself, and the girl told her how she yearned to have blue eyes and how that's all she really wanted in life. And that really inspired Morrison to write this novel. Morrison's book, The Bluest Eyes, actually portrays incest, prostitution, domestic violence, child molestation, and racism. And there have been numerous attempts to ban the book from libraries across America, but it hasn't been banned yet, and it's still being taught in the education system. Another book by Toni Morrison is Shula, which she wrote in 1973. It's actually her second book that she wrote and that was published, and it actually received a lot of accolades, more so than The Bluest Eyes. This book is about two African American women living in rural Southern America, and they're pretty much plight as African American women living in a white male-dominated society, and their trials and their tribulations and their friendship and how they grow as people. It starts from when they're children all the way up to their deaths. For this book, she was nominated for the National Book Award and received the Ohanian Book Award because of her portrayal of the African American lifestyle. Lastly, one of her famous books was Song of Solomon. So in this book, she portrays a young man named Milkman who actually his life goes all the way from the African American diaspora, from the Great Migration in America to modern times. And it goes through the mindset of the Black people as they were freed from slaves, to going into society, to moving to different places. And in the book, he questions why is this happening to him, who is he, and he pretty much questions his own identity, and which is pretty relatable to anybody of any race. This book paid homage to the richness of Black culture, and one 2 more awards from Morrison, the National Book Critics Circle Award and the American Academy Institute of Arts and Letters Award. In 1993, Morrison won the Nobel Peace Prize for Literature as an author, and she became the 8th woman and the first African American woman to win the prize. She is quoted saying, "What is most wonderful for me personally is that the prize at last has been awarded to an African American. Winning as an American is very special, but winning as a Black American is a knockout." Toni Morrison took her heritage and her culture very seriously, and she wanted to include this in every single portion of her life, which shows in her writing. She has helped to expose the African American psyche and the Black woman's mind with her writings, and has helped other young writers develop their own writing style and their own identity within it.